morning. Oh, it's going to come up over there? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, hi. I'm January York. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm very excited to be here. I use the word magic very often. To be quite honest, as you can see, I'm a black girl, and you may be familiar with the phrase black girl magic, and so it's one of my favorite phrases. I do believe that I am magic. I believe that before that was a trending phrase. So it's kind of perfect for me to talk about magic, even though it makes me really nervous. I'm actually going to do a combination of kind of sharing my story and doing a little bit of poetry. I think my story is, or at least what I hope is that my story will help you recognize the magician in yourself. And I think a lot of times we don't know that we are all magicians. We all think that we are just, people. We're just here, we have the control that we have, and we have the lack of control that we have. But in reality, we are all very magical creatures. We are very magical beings. We have all the power in the world right here in our hands. We can change the world. We can make the world what we want the world to be, even if it's baby steps, even if it's one step at a time. But we all still hold that power. So in a sense, we are all magicians. I did a event a couple of years back, and one of the speakers at the event said abracadabra, and he asked if anybody knew the meaning of abracadabra, and nobody knew, and so he told us that the meaning was I create what I speak. I have a hashtag that I really want this hashtag to trend, but the stuff that I do doesn't really trend, so it's okay. It's just going to trend in my mind. But I have this hashtag called I create my legacy. The combination of these two, abracadabra and I create my legacy, are very powerful affirmations. To create what you speak, to know that you create what you speak, allows you to do just that. If you don't know that you are your own creator, if you don't know that the things that you speak hold power, that the words that we say hold power, that I'm not just up here, just holding a microphone rambling. It's probably going to sound like that here and there, but what I'm doing is creating. And whether it touches everybody in the room today or just one single person, I am creating something for someone to get. I'm hoping that it's inspirational. But everybody in this room has that same exact power, and you don't have to be a public speaker or a poet or an artist or even speaking for Creative Mornings. You can just be exactly who you are, where you are, but your voice still holds that power. It still creates. The words that you use, they still hold power. They come true. If we are having a bad day, let's just say you wake up, and I have 2 dogs. I don't have kids, I have 2 dogs. So I have this crazy dog lady life. So let's just say you wake up one morning and you step in dog vomit, which is something that has happened to me several times in my life. That kind of throws you off balance. Let's just say that's the first thing that happens when you get out of bed. That throws you off balance. You feel disgusting. You're kind of upset with your dogs. You're ready to put them out like for good, but you're really not going to do that. If you allow yourself to stay in that space, things will continue to happen. And these things will probably have happened anyway, but because you've already stepped out on kind of this negative kind of launching pad that you didn't pull yourself out of, everything else that happens, you're going to be able to find something negative about it. You're going to be able to find, by the time 5 o'clock comes around, and somebody asks you, how was your day? You're going to say, my day sucked. But if you grab yourself, clean off your foot, put the dogs out, blow them kisses because you're going to bring them back in. At least I do every time. And then just kind of reframe your mind, then whatever else happens doesn't have that same kind of negative connotation behind it. Once you kind of take control and just say, well, stuff happens, and just keep it moving. And you can kind of push yourself to stay in a higher self. You can stay in a more positive light. And I say all this to go back to, I create what I speak and I create my legacy. Our thoughts and our words hold so much power over us that they determine how we are throughout the whole day. And oftentimes we don't even realize it. We just kind of coast through the day, and the things that happen we think are just kind of happening and we're reacting. But oftentimes it's not just a reaction. It is a domino effect of the other things that have happened. So if you have 5 positive things happen, it's easy to stay in a positive light. If you have 5 negative things that happen, it's easy to stay in a negative light. But if you just kind of keep this mindset of, no matter what happens, I am a magical being and I am going to abracadabra all over this day, then you can kind of take control of your day and guide your day the way that you need it to be. So with that said, I have 2 pictures, and one is going to show you, both pictures are of me. Not because I'm narcissistic, but because I think both of these pictures speak very big volumes about magic and about testimony and about creating your legacy, creating what you speak. We all have a legacy in this room. You don't have to be a celebrity to have a legacy. You don't have to be gunning for Hollywood in order to have a legacy. Every single person in this room, every magical being in this room has a legacy that right now you are creating. Every single day you are creating your legacy. Every single day, those words that you speak, those actions that you take, the places that you go, the things that you do are becoming a part of your legacy. When we remember that we have a legacy that we are creating, we kind of become more conscious that we are creating the legacy. When we are conscious of that, then we are conscious of how we react, how we respond, what we do, where we go, who we are around, who we let in our space, especially in our homes, whose energy we mix with. These things matter. And when you know that you have a legacy that you are creating, you become empowered by it, because that's a big deal. It's a big deal to have a legacy. It's a big deal to leave something behind. All of us are going to travel that sayonara eternal road, all of us. But we all have the power to leave something behind that speaks so much volumes that it's like we never left. And when you know that, then you become more conscious of what you're doing. When you don't know that, let's see if I get this clicker right. I got it right. It's a little dark, but if you look at the young lady sitting over to the left, that's me. I blurred out the face next to me. So this is me in 2001. 2002. I was about 22, 23 years old. This is what it looks like not to know that you have a legacy. This is what it looks like not to know that you create what you speak, that you create what you do. This is what it looks like not to know that you are magic. If someone doesn't tell you that you are a magical being, it's possible that you won't know it. And if you've never heard it before today, I'm telling you that you are a magical being. It doesn't matter what your gender is. It doesn't matter what your race is. Magic is something that is born into you when you are placed, when you come out of the womb. When you are in the womb, you are magic. Just think about the process of how we even get here, that we form in our mothers over a 9-month period. If you ever look at some of the time-lapse videos of babies in the womb and how they grow and how we go from these blurbs to these babies, that in itself is magic. So how is it that you could come out into the earth and not be magic? Why would it stop when you take your first breath? When you take your first breath outside of the womb and you're able to do it. Let's say you're not able and you go to the NICU for a while, but you're still here. There are so many people that were born so tiny they could fit in the palm of their father's hand. And 25 years later, they are still here. They are still walking. They're still creating their legacy. Why wouldn't you be magic? Why isn't this considered magic? Why wouldn't you be a magical being? But people have to tell you that. People have to reiterate it to you as you grow that you're a whole force. You shouldn't hear it for the first time in your 20s. I didn't hear it for the first time until my 30s. And I might have told it to myself. I really can't. I don't know. That's kind of up for debate. But I was 22, 23 years old in this picture. I had been in a relationship with a person in this picture for 4 years. And probably about the time this picture was taken, well, we were together for 4 years. This was probably year 3. This was a mutually abusive relationship. It was emotionally abusive, and it was physically abusive. And physically, we were abusing each other. And to be quite honest, the emotional abuse was so heavy that often I was the jump starter of the physical abuse. I threw a whole lot of first punches, a whole lot of them, a whole lot of kicks, a whole lot of extra stuff. And I wanted to die, like really die. I'm not going to tell you like all the deep down really bad stuff about the relationship because that's not the point of it all. But even if you have to strain your eye, even if we have to go back to this picture and you have to walk over to it and look at it and see it really good, or if you need to get with me so I can show it to you on my phone, I will do that as well. But I really want you to take in as much as you can about the face, the body language, the everything of the young lady in the picture who was 22, 23 years old, with the world at my fingertips, a magical being with a legacy to create, young enough to create really any kind of legacy I wanted, but not knowing any of that, not knowing that I'm magical, not knowing that I'm worthy of love, not knowing that I'm worthy of respect. I used to be a dancer. A for real dancer. Well, let me rephrase that. Not a for real. I don't know what you think for real is when I say it. We might have 2 different definitions. So let me go back. But I used to be a dancer, a club dancer with tips and dollars and stuff. And this was shortly thereafter. And that's where I met that person. And I really felt like at that point in my life that I had nothing to offer this world. Honestly, that young lady would have never envisioned herself standing right here today. My magic, my mojo, my abracadabra was virtually non-existent. There were times, honestly, the only reason that I did not commit suicide was because I just thought that I was brought up to believe in God, and that if you commit suicide, that ain't gonna get you where you want to be, and you probably don't want to do that. And I'm an only child. My mom's an only child. I come from a family that's like this big. So those 2 things kind of were the things that kept me here. They literally were. Every time I thought about swallowing a bottle of pills, it was like, my mother though, she has no more children, so I'm gonna have to figure this out. I'm gonna have to figure this out. But there were so many times where I sat at home without magic, without anything, without a phone, without a job history. My job history had dancer on it, so who was going to hire me? I had been a dancer for 4 years, so it kind of looked like I had not been working for my 20s. So everywhere I turned, I felt a roadblock, and I felt like I should give up. I was writing this whole time stuff. Random poems, just trying to keep myself out of depression, but I was very depressed. Somebody gave me this picture probably 5 or 6 years ago. I don't even know how she got it, but she gave it to me. And when she gave it to me, it I don't know, it honestly surprised the hell out of me. You know how when you've been through something or you've experienced something and you know that you experienced it, you know you went through it, you know it happened, you're not lying to other people, you're not lying to yourself. But it's been so long ago that the only thing that's left is a story to tell. But then when somebody gives you something that shows you proof that you actually were there, it actually was you. On a side note real quick, I went to DC a couple of weeks ago. And when I got to the Martin Luther King When I got to the Martin Luther King Memorial and the Lincoln Memorial, I stood in front of both of these memorials in awe because they are so perfectly chiseled out that the artist in me was just like, oh my God, I wish I could have just been standing here when they were doing this bit by bit. But the human in me was like, so you really were real. You really, really were here. I've never doubted that Martin Luther King lived. I've never doubted that Abraham Lincoln lived. But when you see something tangible that shows you, no, this really happened. This was really real. This was really a thing, a person, a being, a piece of magic, a piece of history. It kind of is jolting for a quick second. So when I was handed this picture, it kind of took me aback. It jolted me because I was like, whoa, I remember that outfit. I know that was my outfit. Don't really remember the shoes much. I'm a heel kind of girl, so those don't even strike me as anything. They don't have a marking on them or anything, but the hair is completely different. The eyes are completely different. Everything about the picture is completely different, but everything about it is completely me. And I know me. I know me. I know me in a picture. So when I saw my face from then, not only did I realize this really happened, this really was my life, I really did live this. I'm not making up a dream and kind of living through this dream and telling it to people. This really, really happened. But I really, really made it out of it. And when I say made it out of it, I don't mean made it out of the relationship. The relationship was horrible. And, it came to an end and I'm here now and that's all great. But this isn't about the relationship. This is about the woman, the young woman that was in the picture. Because every relationship in my life, beyond him, you could have inserted that exact picture in it. Whether it was putting me next to my mom, putting me next to my friends, putting me next to the animals I owned at the time. Everything was reminiscent of that girl in that picture. What I don't want for anybody in this room is for you to be that picture. If you are that picture, because the odds tell me that there is at least one person in here today whose face is that picture. When he or she leaves out of this room, you will go to being that picture. Because see, the thing is, once this picture was, I don't know who took this. I know where I was at. I have no idea who took this picture. But the thing is, when the frozen memory is done, that happens in a split second. When that second is over, you smile. You smile for yourself. You put a front on for yourself. You pretend that you think you're magic. You pretend that you know what magic is. You pretend that you are abracadabbering. That's a verb. We're going to use that all day. Use it after you leave here too. But you pretend. We all do so much pretending, and the number one person that we pretend to is ourselves. So when I went home after this, you could not have told me that I took this picture. I went home after this and put on a different outfit. I went home after this and cooked food. I went home after this and made some kind of plans to do something, to go somewhere, to be next to somebody, to hang out with somebody, to walk a dog, to write a poem, to watch TV, to listen to a song. I made all types of plans that continued because this relationship continued after that. This person that I was at 22 years old continued until 30. I started doing poetry at 25, 26, and that's when my life started changing. That's when the magic started to come out. That's when I started to realize I actually had something bigger than me. And I don't want that to be misconstrued with, that's when I realized I was a great writer. That's not what happened. But it's just when I realized that I had something inside of me that was worth more than taking pictures like this. I am too much woman to be loved in a measuring cup, weighted out on a table scale, fed scaled down, bitten into portions of mold-covered love in bits and pieces. It may sound astonishing, but I deserve love not found clinging to the surfaces of teaspoons. No leftover residue for me, I need it in its greatest form. We should be the greatest love story, told through sequels we will aspire to create and recreate until our lifespans reach finish lines. I'm not a less than sign. You will love me like an equal, and in return, I will love you until we are dust particles, reunited in a Paris loft, illuminated from sun shining through square windows that overlook easy waters that bear towers. Don't try to love me like white lines snorted through hollowed nostrils. I ain't nobody's cut. You won't get to use my body as your theme ride. While strapping me into an emotional roller coaster I become too powerless to free myself from. I don't accept that anymore. John Mayer said it best, don't you think we should have learned by now? And I have. That's why now I only accept the kind of love that comes because my smile allows your blood to flow. And just knowing I am laying next to you, inhaling, and then exhaling continuously is like the right note to the right key. Praise God, I am a woman now, no longer a bruised muse in heels. I've been born again in rose drippings, powerful not by accident, but by bloodline. I am a beautiful gemstone making positive noise in silent rooms of disaster, and I deserve to be loved in the AM like breakfast smelling Folgers coffee. They should make commercials about loving me. I am the best damn part about waking up. Cup me in your arms and blow on me if I get too hot. Love me like love still exists in the palm of interrupted fists. I need the kind of love that's like water to water contact, like two temperatures colliding, like lukewarm traces, lullaby faces, exchanging places, spaces, tasting these lips like a delicatessen, undressing my thoughts like my brain is the pathway to your personal freedom. Inspire me. Allow me to inspire thee to rise mountain high with muscles tight. I am not a bruised muse in heels. I be wife of ruler in stilettos. Homemaker ain't never been my title. Baby, I make worlds crocheted via needle thread, and you will love me like the title of victory, not a salt stain on a broken sheet. I am a woman now, not the picture of defeat. Don't take from me or steal my emotions. I am only granting linear motions to he who can feel my footprints from the carpet to his feet. Look at me like I taste like I roast in heaven in place of sleep. Love me like whenever you see me, you know there is a God, and he made that known as woman. And I am so much woman in every sense of the word, growing tiny yous inside of me, but not because I'm your safety deposit box or the keeper of your deadbeat secrets or the skin that bears your fist print, leaving black eyes, purple monsters swollen to new morning risings. I'm not the fabric of your anger. I am to be the delicate balance of our being. I fight for us, for this world we help populate, this world that our grandchildren will be a part of, and I possess enough strength and dedication to love myself, someone else, and all of our flaws at the same time. I might be the best multitasker one will ever meet. Praise God, I am a woman now, no longer a bruised muse in heels, and what's for me will have to fall off into my arms, because I will make loving me look so good that one would be a fool not to see for himself how it feels. And on that note, thank you. Thank you. It's a little dark. I was trying to find a brighter picture, but I was kind of rushing and running late. But if you can see the shadow of the picture, and later if you need to get closer, please do. Or if you want to talk, I'll show it to you on my phone. This is a picture I took at Central State. If you are familiar with Indy history, Central State was the mental institution that was closed down many years ago. The lighthouse still exists, though. And the lighthouse looks like what you would think a closed institution look. It looks like one of those places on Scary Haunted, them shows that they be like going through and seeing scary. I'm surprised I didn't come back with like crazy ghosts haunting me or something, but the place was huge. I went in there to do a photo shoot, and the photo shoot in my head was titled Out of the Ruins. And this was probably 2 years ago. I turned the music on. I love doing photo shoots, but I'm really not that comfortable doing photo shoots because it's very weird to have somebody snapping pictures of you. No matter how much you like it, it's still weird because Like sometimes my smile, I feel like my mouth is shaking. Like, is this the right smile or the wrong smile? But so I turned some music on to kind of get me comfortable. When I'm at home, I can turn the music on and dance from the top to the bottom of the house. So I figured if I do that at the photo shoot, that would get some good pictures. So I did that, and the photographer caught this picture. And this is kind of how I'm standing in the picture. I have on a skirt, a half top, a pair of heels, and my hands are up. My hands are, I don't think my fists are actually completely closed, but they're up. And I'm standing in the middle of the lighthouse of the old Central State Mental Institution, where there is broken glass. It was hot and humid in there. It was scary. It actually looked like the boiler room from the very first Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, seriously looked like that room, like, personified. There were big pieces of just stuff that had fallen from the top. There were pipes, there were old chairs. I mean, it really just kind of reeked of a haunted place. But it was very symbolic of somebody finding their mojo, finding their magic. This picture versus the other picture are two different people. I didn't want to come share my testimony with you or share my story with you just so that you could know, here's another girl that done made it out of an abused relationship. That's not what this is about. My point of this is if you don't know what you have inside of you, if you don't know it, if you don't believe it, because people could tell you and you might not believe them. People have told me a couple of things back in that other picture and I didn't believe them. People told me that, you know, you're going to do better things. You're going to do good things. I see good things for you. Sure you do. Sure you do. Meanwhile, I'm miserable. So it's easy for somebody to say something to you and you not take it in. It's easy to be the other picture. It really is. Depression is not a joke. Depression is a real thing. I just saw somebody tell another person on Facebook who put up a message saying that they were depressed and they were trying to get back to themselves. And one of the comments was, "You're not sick." Well, if they said that they were depressed, they probably are. And you telling them that they're not didn't do anything but offend me. I don't know what it made them feel. It peed me off quite a bit. My point of saying that, though, is if you don't know what's going on with you, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know the power that is inside of you, you're never going to stand in the ruins with your hands up. You're never going to stand in the ruins with your hands up. And the bottom line is every one of us has some ruins that we could be standing in. Everybody does. Everybody has something really messed up that has happened in their life. Somebody has passed away. Some job didn't turn out. I continue to have stuff happen to me almost weekly. I won't say every day, weekly. Something happens and I don't understand the magic in it at all. I don't see the outcome of it. There are days when I am at home with a face full of tears because I don't understand what's going on. But I dry my tears and I stand back up and either I put some heels on or I put some flats on. It just depends on how tall I want to be for the day. But I stand back up because I know I am magical. So whatever happens, it's not going to kill me unless it does. And then it won't matter. But it will matter. But it will matter because I have created a legacy that I've left behind. That's my point of being here today. Are we magic? Yes, we are magic. Is it easy for me to tell you that you are magic? Yes, it's very easy for me to look right at you and say, you are magic. You are magic. You are magic. You are magic. You are magic, magic, magical. I can say that to everybody in this room, and I just might. But it's not up to me to believe it. It's up to you. It's up to you to walk out of this door and remember that you are magic. It's up to you to walk out of this door and remember that you have a legacy. On 3, I want everybody to say abracadabra. 1, 2, 3. Abracadabra. Now that one kind of sounded like you don't really know if you create what you speak or not. So we're going to do it again. But I want you to say it like you know that you create what you speak. Let's have a contest. I'm going to do this side, and I'm going to do that. It's kind of going to be like a concert, like a hip-hop show or something. Everybody on the east side. I don't know if this is the east or the left. What I want you to do is when I count to 3 and you say abracadabra, I want you to not pull from the surface. The surface is the call and response. The surface is the woman speaking said, say abracadabra, so I'm here, I'm going to say it. I want you to pull from in here. I want you to pull from in here. Pull from your diaphragm. Is that right? I wanted to say that, and sometimes I say stuff and it's not actually right, but it sounded good in the moment. Just had to double check on that one. But I want you to pull from within. I want you to pull from a place that says, even if I don't believe it right now this second, I'm going to walk out of that door and I'm going to work on believing it. And sometimes it's not as easy as believing it in a second. It's not as easy as believing it in a day. But working on it is a thing. Every time that you wake up is an opportunity to work on yourself, to make yourself greater, to make yourself better. Your competition is sitting right in the chair with you, not next to you, not in front of you, not behind you. Your competition is you. The competition, the race, the challenge is to be better today than you were yesterday, to be better tomorrow than you were yesterday. That is what the magician pulls out of the hat. That is the white rabbit. That is the lucky rabbit's foot. That is the abracadabra. That's it. That's that picture. That's I'm not going to be 22-year-old Januarie York. I wasn't Januarie York at the time. My real name is Kendria Smith, just so we are on a for real first name basis. But I go by Januarie York. It's my pen name. It's the name I like to use. My family kind of calls me Kendria, so we'll just keep that for them. And I'm Januarie to all of you and to myself more often than not. But Januarie is the magic that Kendria had to pull from herself. So when you say abracadabra, say it like you're going to pull magic from yourself. Say it like if you could pull magic from yourself right now in this moment, you're going to. Say it like when you leave out of this door, you're going to remember that every step you take, every time your foot hits the ground, it's magical. Why wouldn't it be? Honestly, why wouldn't it be? We're breathing. We are human beings. We can get on a plane and go 40,000 feet in the air, and our ears can pop, and they can stay popped for days on end. I know this because my ears did not pop back to normal from DC until 2 days into the DC trip. I didn't understand it, but I could not hear out of this ear. But I could still hear, and I could still breathe, and I could still take in everything that I went to DC for. I still was able to see all these beautiful clouds like I'd never seen clouds like that. I've been on some planes before, but these clouds, the DC clouds got something else going on. The DC clouds are magical. And it truly was a magical thing to see because I really had never seen anything like that before. And I also saw some stuff up higher in the sky. Don't know what that was. I've been told some suggestions. It was higher than the plane was and way higher than the clouds. But, could be a UFO, could be something else. I don't know. I saw it, got it on video. In case you don't believe me, I can show that to you too, because that's magic. But my point is, look at all the things that we can do. We can create jobs. We can create jobs for other people. We can create jobs for ourselves. We can create life. We can create events like this. We can create food. We can create so much. What can we not do? Why wouldn't you be magical? Every single day. On your worst day, you're magical. On your worst day. On my worst day, and I've had some worse days. On my worst day, On the day when my heart was completely shattered, when I was broken, when the guy that I wanted to love me did not love me back and let me know that he did not love me back and completely shattered my heart on social media for the whole world to see. When I was broken down to my kneecaps with tears falling from my eyes because I had wrote this poem about being too much woman to be loved in a measuring cup, and then went and gave somebody a measuring cup to love me out of, and then I'm mad because I want to be loved out of something bigger than that, and everybody sees it now, and I'm sitting in front of my own reflection with tears coming down my eyes and cannot do anything to stop it because this is reality. I just got to live it out. I just got to live through this. This is a relationship that did not work. I just got to live through it. Broken, very bad day. Very, very, very bad day. When I went to work and my friend called me and told me to come to the hospital. And one of my best friends, best like this, was in the hospital. And when I got there, I knew she was gone. I knew she was gone. You know when you see them. But we stayed for 2 more days on life support. Best friend. Gone suddenly from a stroke. Gone. When death really showed me what death was, because I don't know that I really knew before then. But when it really showed me what it was and what it does to you, I was still magical. I couldn't tap into it right then and there, but I was still magical. I was still creating what I spoke. I was still asked to speak at her funeral. I was still asked to be there with her. I was still asked to be with the family. I was saved from somebody that would never love me the way I deserve to be loved. No matter how much cheerleading and hooping and hollering I did on behalf of myself, this person was never going to be able to love all that is me. He might be able to love all that is the other woman, and there's nothing wrong with that. Did it hurt? Yes. Was it saving me? Mm-hmm. I was still magical. When you think about the things that have hurt you, and you realize what you were saved from, what you were spared from. When you think about people who have left, people who have died. But when you think about all that you experienced with them, everything that you did, every smile that you had, every song that you listened to, it's magical. When my friend died, we used to listen to Kings of Leon all the time. All the time. We'd sit in the living room and not say anything and listen to Revelry by Kings of Leon and everything on the Because of Times album. When she passed away, I was asked to suggest some songs to be played. I didn't really know where they were playing the songs. They ended up playing these songs during like the wake portion of the funeral and kind of when people were walking through. So instead of playing like the sad organ music, they had actual songs that she loved. When I walked into the pew, when my feet got right here to walk into the pew, Revelry came on by Kings of Leon. I mean, it came on, it started fresh. Now, we're all free to think whatever we want to think about that. We can think nothing about that if we don't want to. To me, I see magic. I don't care who you attribute it to or what it is or why it is. I see magic. There is magic that surrounds us. It surrounds us. If we open up our eyes, open up our hearts, open up our minds, magic encompasses us. And why wouldn't it? Because we are magical, even on our worst days. Even when we take pictures that look like 22-year-old Kendria Smith, we can still get to 30-something-year-old Januarie York. We can still find the ruins that have tried to kill us, tried to break us, and we can still dance in them. Didn't get me. Why? Because we are magic, because abracadabra, because we create what we speak, which also goes to bad. So if you speak bad, you're going to create bad. So on 3, I want you to speak good. This side only. I'm going to come back to y'all. I want you to speak good. I want you to speak from your heart. Speak like something I said touched you. Speak like you liked the poem I did. Speak like you're glad to be here right now in this moment. Speak like you know that you are magic. Either because I said it, because somebody else told you when you were growing up, or because you just feel it right now in this moment. Speak because when you walk out of this door, you're going to take your magic with you. You're never going to leave your magic in a chair that you're not sitting in. You're never going to leave your magic in a purse that you don't have next to you. You're never going to put your magic in a wallet. Your magic is not on a credit card. It's not on a debit card. It's not in your accessories. It's not in your cute shoes. It's not on your dope hat. It's not in your pretty hairstyle. Speak like you know the magic is inside of you. So wherever you go, whoever you see, whoever you touch or don't touch, whoever is affected by your energy or not affected by your energy, whether it's dogs, cats, humans, children, babies, speak like you know that you are a magical being. Speak like you know that if you put on the right song, you can dance in the ruins. On 3, I want to hear abracadabra. I felt like a preacher when I just brought it down low. Pass the collection plate. Okay, just kidding. So on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes, I like that. That was a lot. What y'all got? Y'all ready? Because I believe they create what they speak. The question is, do you create what you speak? The question is, do you know that you are magic? Do you know that you are magic? Do you know, and do you know, and do you know that you are magic? Just magic. Hold on. I got something for this. Never leave your windows down in Indianapolis in the summertime because your car will absolutely get rained on, which is what happened to my hat. But speak like you know you have the magical hat, the magician hat. You got the wand, the rabbit. Speak like you know that whatever you pull out of this hat is the magic that's inside of you. On 3, abracadabra. 1, 2, 3. Now, I really don't want to make this no contest, but I don't know, y'all. I don't know. They kind of got with y'all on that one. Uh-oh. I was about to be magical on the floor. I'm going to wrap it up. I did bring this hat for a reason. I bought this hat from the Goodwill. I bought it because of this, not because of the hat. I have a mild obsession with tulle and all the derivatives of it. I don't know, I feel like I should have just been born in a tutu or something. But here's the what. When I saw this hat, and I've worn it in a photo shoot too, because why not? When I saw this hat, I was just like, aside from the tulle, I was just like, that's a magician's hat, right? Like it's a whole top hat. It sits a little better when it hasn't been rained on and sat in my car for endless days, but take care of your stuff. Don't do like I did. I got this hat and I was like, oh my God, that's like a whole magician's hat. Why would I have a magician's hat? I don't know, but like this is really my thought process. I don't know why I would have a magician's hat or where I would wear it to, but I'm going to have it. It's at the Goodwill, it's like $2. And I'm going to wear it somewhere and it's going to be obnoxious and probably offensive because it's so high. So depending on who I'm sitting in front of or where I'm at, they might, I don't know, they might not like it very much. But why wouldn't I buy this hat? That's kind of my thought process when I saw it. I'm like, it's sitting right here for me. Everybody in this room has a hat. You don't have to get yours from the Goodwill. You don't have to have something actually sitting on your head. But I'm telling you, the minute you accept, because it goes beyond realization, you have to accept it too. When you accept that you are magical, when you accept that you create what you speak, that you own your destiny, that you own your legacy, hashtag I create my legacy. Use that hashtag, man. Use that hashtag. I want to see it from a complete stranger. I promise I'm going to stand up in my office where I'm supposed to be right now, but I'm really not. When you realize that you create your legacy, y'all, your legacy. Like, listen to that word, a legacy. Well, wouldn't you be magic? Everybody on 3. 1, 2, 3. You had it. You had it. Yes. Good point there. Good point. I like that. But that was magic right there. Because all I said was 1, 2, 3, and we just all said abracadabra. I didn't say what to say. But we know because it's in us. It's up here. It's in here. It's in here. You don't really need me up here to tell you that you're magical. But then to again, yes, you do. Because this is a world, man, that is full of some stuff. It's like all kind of cuss words go right there. This world drives me crazy sometimes. It drives me insane because it's so easy to find something negative. It's so easy to find something bad. It's so easy to find people that are disrespectful to other people, people that don't care about other people. I just seen in Montreal, they passed a law to kill all the pit bulls and like any derivative of a pit bull that stray or in a shelter. Everybody got different feelings about pit bulls. I'm not even getting ready to go into what I think about pit bulls, but I'm a dog lover. So that hurt my heart. But it hurt my heart because it just seems inhumane to me. It's so easy to find inhumanity. So easy. It's not as easy to have somebody speak life into you. It's not as easy to get somebody to just look at you and be like, I don't know you, I've never met you, but I absolutely guarantee you that you are magical. Guarantee you. That's not the easy thing to get. That's why we have good close friends and circles and squads and cliques and all that stuff, because those are the people that reiterate to us who we are and help us grow. So, maybe you didn't need me or maybe you did need me, but the bottom line is we are all here for a reason right now today. Whoever brought us here is anybody's guess. It could be up for debate. But we are all sharing this space right now this morning. And my hope, my goal, my purpose, my true purpose is not to share dope poetry or say I'm a great writer, read my blog, although I do blog and you should probably read it. But I really, truly, like from the depths of my soul, want you each to feel, to recognize, to accept, to know that you are magical. So I'm gonna do a couple call responses. I'm gonna do a poem, and then I'm gonna get out your way. I wanna thank Creative Mornings for having me. I wanna thank you all for listening to me. I'm not going to get out your way. I'm going to do a question and answer session. And ask me any question you want to. I may or may not have an answer because I'm human, not a robot. But I'm magic. So I might create an answer because I create what I speak. On 3, I want everybody to say abracadabra. I want you to say it like you mean it. Say it like we just said it separately. I don't know why I took that long dramatic pause, but it just felt good. It's beautiful to look out and to see a sea of faces and to feel like you are in a position to inspire somebody. It's so easy for people to just use stage time as their time. And I'm supposed to be on a conference call that ain't talking about nothing, honestly, that's affecting me or my life. This right here, this is everything. This is her. This is why she was born. This is why she was created. And this is what the other picture wanted, but did not know that she even had the power, the ability, the words to do, to create, to speak. No abracadabra. So in honor of everybody who's out here or maybe in here who doesn't know or didn't know that they are magical, who doesn't know or didn't know what abracadabra means or how to use it, in honor of yourselves, in honor of today and your tomorrows, every tomorrow is an opportunity to be better than today. Every tomorrow is a chance to have a magician hat because everybody in this room is a magician. On 3, abracadabra. 1, 2, 3. Abracadabra. That sounded great. On 3, I want you to say, I am the magician. I am the magician. Not a magician. I am the magician. Do we want to say, I am the magician or I am the magician? I am the magician. The. I like the. It's more imperative. So, on 3, I am the magician. Put some like Ike Turner would say, put some stank on that the. Because that the means that you are the magician in your life. You're not the magician in her life. You're not the magician in her life. And you're not the magician in my life. But you're certainly a magician in your own life. You certainly have your own power to create whatever you speak, to build your legacy, to be better, bigger, and greater than yesterday, to make tomorrow the best day. Every day is the best day of my life. Every vacation I take is the vacation of my life. Who knows? I might not wake up tomorrow, in all honesty. So it better be the best day of my life. It better be the vacation of my life. It better be the dog walk of the year. This better be the best meal I ever cooked until tomorrow. I am the magician. 1, 2, 3.
I am the magician.
Yes. You don't have a clue why I do what I do, but I do what I do just for you. For your freedom song to sing above the clouds and cruise at altitudes foreign to you, I want to wipe the dust off your shoulder. Move the debris out of your pathway. May these poems blow southwest winds against the northeast tumbleweeds, headed to cloud your dreams. I write to save the overdrawn from completely checking out, for the Norma jeans that get lost in between Monroe Ho tactics, for the practical and the unpredictable, for the dancers with no balance, for the 5, 6, 7, 8, hundreds of thousands of dethroned kings cooking up ancestral moans in rocks meant for smoking through broken antennas. I write to save the future teenage girls, because what if I can change her direction? Writing with the blood of the neglected, writing through the stifled sinuses of the rejected. I am unprotected like a fertile penis to a ripened vagina, womb tight and pregnant, holding capitalized secrets in lowercase print. It was a cold night in December when I saw a halo hanging over a ballpoint pen. Poetry is my walk-in closet. Kick your feet up in my den of lyrical equity. I do the opposite of what is expected of me. I started writing to make sense out of the senseless. My 5 senses wouldn't let me miss this, but the ink went blank, so I put my tongue on the tip. And because I am a poet, I ain't been right ever since. I fear my own lyrical mortality more than my final casket lay. But once I get here, in this space, my own personal Pluto, this plateau of poetry, the proven history of this violence is that I come alive up here so much that when you see me sitting, consider me in my post-mortem pose, post-mortem prose, lights out. Everybody knows that dying is so easy. That's why I stay so pen sick almost every time I spit, and you will literally see me spit, and I really hate that, but this is me living, taking the breath I only get to engulf when I am with you. I guess you could say I wish we lived together, shacked up and ringless, menage a life, me, you, me, and this stage, and I don't need a mic for this. This is me, alive, full blown. That's why my poems are so long, because I want to live for more than 3 minutes most times. So never mind who can't get it or who ain't with it. I will take these hits for the team. Bullseye, you shot me, but you can't change who I am or alter the trail of my lyrical umbilical that leads to the lights of audience smiles. I get born again up here, and I mean it. This is life up here. This is life up here. Who am I to not fiend for it, to lean forward, to stand, hoping not to disappoint this time, hoping to come alive by rhyme, to be totally honest and 100% true. And when I come alive on this stage, I am secretly hoping that I could bring life back to you, but you don't have a clue why I do what I do, but I do what I do. You don't have a clue why I do what I do, but I do what I do. You don't have a clue why I do what I do, but I do what I do. Just for me and for you. That's that poem. Yeah. Thank you. So, in conclusion, before I open it up for Q&A, make sure I didn't. Hey, I hit that right at an hour and 6 extra minutes. So I just want to once again thank you all for coming out, for signing up, for listening. You did not have to. That's something that I am always conscious of, is no matter who invites me to come do something or speak or do whatever, everybody in the room, whether it's 2 people or 200, none of you had to be here. None of you had to give me your listening ears, so I thank you for that from the bottom of my heart. But more than that, please, please, please remember that you are magic. Define what your magic is. Webster's is not going to do it. Webster's is going to give you a textbook definition. Webster's can't define you. You are magic. Everybody on this side of the room is magic. Everybody on that side of the room is magic. Everybody standing up and the people that left, everybody in here is magic. You want to know what magic is? Magic is yourself. Every day. Never, ever let anybody take that from you. Never, ever forget that. And never take it for granted. Because every day is the day that you are creating your legacy. So, again, I thank you. And on 3, one more time for the people in the cheap seats. Let me hear you say. Actually, instead of saying abracadabra, I want you to say, I create what I speak. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
I create what I speak.
Never forget that. You are magical beings. Thank you.